Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Christina and I am excited to share this tidbit today. So today I want to talk about a really important topic because it honestly means so much to me to be able to save you the headache and the heartache, because today we're talking about choosing your partner, choosing the person that you're going to basically have most of your meals with for the rest of your life. That's going to influence you, your thoughts, your values, your finances, your emotions, your physical health, and all of the above. So with that said, mentioning all those things kind of highlights how important a significant other is to you, to anybody. So this whole channel is focusing on showing you how to improve yourself in the many ways that we can, but you can't really do that if you choose a bad partner. I want to talk about two stories today. The one when I was in a really bad relationship and the way that I know it would have impacted me. And two, the relationship that I'm currently in, my husband, that has just changed my life, but for the better. And then kind of like an old wife's tale that we used to hear, that I used to hear growing up, that kind of really impacted me. And even though you may think, oh, it's like just like a story or whatever, how because of the repetition or the fact that it was said frilly-nilly was ingrained in my mind that it really does happen that way. So I guess since I've already discussed it, let me tell you guys what it is. So back in the day, when a woman married a man, you can tell what kind of man she married based on her appearance and her lifestyle. So when a woman married well, you could just tell she carried herself kind of lightly, she looked better, she was well kept, she wore nice clothes, she was pretty, good physique, she had help with the kids and all of the good things. But just in the stark difference, you can tell when somebody married like a poor guy, because she looked deteriorated, she was constantly tired. You can tell that, especially back in the day when women couldn't make their own money, it literally was based on who you married. So this isn't exactly about, this isn't about soft life, and this isn't about a sugar daddy, and it's not anything that's completely black and white. It's mostly about the partners that we choose and how much control we have over it without knowing it or accepting it. And the way that when we choose a partner, we let emotion, be the president over logic. We see it as a life partner is totally based on emotion and love. And for me personally, I've seen, and maybe it's cultural, how you cannot just choose a partner for love, especially as a woman. You have to be very strategic with the person that you choose for all of the reasons that I've mentioned and that I'm going to go on talking about a little bit more. So love, I believe, is going to be there, right? Especially the better that they treat you and the better that life is going because of your partner, versus the opposite of marrying somebody purely for love and also being slightly selfish. Selfish in the sense that that's the person you're going to have children with, and that's the person that's going to be the father of your children, and they don't have a choice in who their father is. So if their mother selects their father blindly and just by love, that can be detrimental to not only your kids, but for your life entirely. So the story that I'm going to tell is one that I experienced when I was younger. So when I was in my early 20s, I met this person who was not good looking. He was actually a little bit embarrassing to date, and he pursued me so heavily and like love bombed me. And back in the day, I was like more naive and stuff, younger, and I didn't even know what love bombing was. The internet also wasn't as big of a thing, and like Instagram, it wasn't that much of a deal. So I didn't understand, I didn't know, but it happened. So then after getting love bombed, decided to be in this relationship. And as the first few months passed by, I found out that this person had a baby with somebody, so like a baby mama. Fast forward a few more months, number 2. Fast forward a few more months, I find out there was number 3. So this person lacked character, amongst other things. There was also patterns, like the mom had multiple baby daddies as well. So it was kind of like what you learn and the background that you have. So this person was a mess, like also like had a really bad attitude. I remember if things didn't go his way, like he would just blow up, and it was a bad relationship. Obviously I knew I wasn't going to marry him because I already had like my values and stuff, and there was just no way. But I look back at that situation and I remember going to work. At the time I was a legal secretary. I remember going to work and doing the work incorrectly. So I would have, I would have submitted something, or I had calendar things, and I would be in such a fog and everything was like a blur when things were going bad with this person, that it affected literally everything. The way that I ate, the way that I felt, the way that I worked. And you can't think, this is kind of like health. When your health is bad, you only have one problem. You can't be thinking about leveling up, working out, reading more, educating yourself, because you're so stuck in this issue with this person, and they really bog you down. They deplete you of all life, honestly. They suck the joy out of you, and you can't actually succeed when you're trying to survive. So thank goodness, obviously, I wasn't in that relationship too long and I didn't let it affect my self-esteem. But now what we know, and with statistics, you cannot take it lightly, because a bad partner will literally deteriorate you mentally, emotionally, physiologically, financially. Because, okay, like imagine this person, for example, had now probably 4 baby mamas. How is that for finance? That's actually the way that a lot of ball players and stuff lose their wealth, because they decide to just spread children everywhere. How would that be financially okay? Mentally, he was bad. Physically, he was bad. Emotionally, like I mentioned, it was a mess. So those people will literally be dead weight as you're trying to run up the hill of life, and you're carrying them. And to be honest, sometimes family can't be genuine and tell you, hey, this person is XYZ, I think you deserve better. Because what usually happens is that we get defensive and nobody can say anything. Or people are walking on eggshells with your relationship because they can't actually be honest. And it's very sad for those around you that they can't come to you and grab your hand and be like, please leave this person. So what usually happens is we dig our feet in the sand even deeper, and we say, no, we gaslight ourselves. Basically, we convince ourselves that this person is okay. Meanwhile, we know that we are internally a mess, and it's just not good for you. Now that I am married to the love of my life, a guy that I completely feel at peace with, I can see how, now that I'm outside of the fishbowl, I can see how horrific it would have been to be with that person. More so now. Like, the light is shed brighter on that issue now from the outside, because when we're inside, we're going to make a lot of justifications. Now that I am in this really good relationship, and I've been in this good relationship for 8 years, I look back and I'm like, wow, like everything that I have, everything that I've built, the person that I am becoming, the person that I've already become, could have not happened with that other person in my life. And that other person isn't even that significant, but I didn't really date a lot, so I didn't really have a lot of data. But I know that what I have now could have never happened with the other person, mostly because they had no stability, like emotional or mental. They had no like emotional intelligence either. So when something would go wrong, like they would lash out and they would have their little Hulk episode. Versus with my husband, we talk about something and we can have like a dialogue, and then also come to like a solution. Very solution oriented, very how to move forward, very stable. And seeing that stark difference is amazing. And then that's when I thank God, and I'm like, gosh, I thank God that no matter how young I was then or how naive, I was smart enough to know that I needed to run the opposite direction towards something better. And if this message can go out to one woman that sees this and is like, you know what, that's right, this relationship is not serving me, and I see the writing on the wall, but I'm not brave enough to leave. Like, there is something way better on the other side of that. And once you see the light, you're going to be like, thank goodness I left. Thank goodness I moved forward. Because as much as you work on yourself, you are either running up the hill with your partner in hand and you guys are working together, or you're carrying dead weight. So that's what I mean. I don't mean this as like, oh, soft girl. I know it's very popular right now. I don't mean like somebody, because a partner can propel you to something better, which is like what my husband does. But he's not like a multi-millionaire who I just now sit pretty and stuff. Like, no, I am working really hard on certain things. I worked really hard on my small business, the Chatty Mouse. But having a partner that's supportive is absolutely life-changing. I cannot stress this enough. So those two different things, when I come to my husband with a problem, we can actually work together. He's emotionally mature. He can listen. We move on together. There's peace in our home. There's just support. There's love. There's respect. And there's same values. And with this person, I will build. And with this person, I will have a family. And we will have our nuclear life. It'll be amazing. It is already amazing. And seeing what used to be or what life was and knowing everything I didn't want, it's a thing that honestly sometimes still gives me nightmares when I think, what would my life have been had I chose this person? And I think that it's actually heavy on my mind right now because I have an infant. My son is a newborn, basically. He's a few months old, and I get to stay home. I now get to spend time making these videos for you. Hopefully there's somebody that I can help, and I am loving it. Like, if I can pour out and help one person the same way that I've been helped and the same way that I've been blessed throughout my life, I am here for it. And with my infant, I feel like I get to stay home. I get to run my business in a different way, and I have peace. And I think about the women that have procreated with, for lack of a better word, losers. And I feel for them because I will see like reels, on Instagram talking about how women need to go back to work after 3 weeks, or, I remember one, it really stuck in my mind. It was like, I had twins, or is this too much? Maybe I'm mixing them up. But a woman had a cesarean. I'm just going to say a single, not a multiple birth. She had a cesarean and had to go back to work after 3 weeks. And honestly, that sounds inhumane to me. And I think, what world are we living in that women have to do that? But also, we have the full freedom to choose our partners. And if you're working on yourself day in and day out and making yourself better, but you choose a lousy partner, that will show in your life time and time again. I cannot say this with my full chest enough. Be really cautious who you choose to marry, because the life you live will reflect that person. So right now I'm feeling really sensitive about that subject because I am a mom to a newborn, and I thank God every morning that I get to be a mother, a full mother to this infant, because it makes me feel really grateful to know that I can be fully present mentally. It honestly is so important to me. I can't express how much it means. Be really careful who you have kids with. Be really careful who you marry. As women, it's actually, it could be, a prosperous life or really dangerous to marry somebody who is not a good partner. I don't know about person because I won't judge that hard. But if you know that you're with somebody that does not feel like they're going to be a good father, it's not a good partner to you, this is a time to really look deep into it and know, is this a person who I can build with, or is this a person who's going to tear me down? I don't mean to get all dark. I'm sorry. But you can have a really happy life or be in danger or in poverty based on who you tie your carriage, horse you choose to tie your carriage to. So choose wisely. I really hope that I gave you a message that you needed to hear. If there's anybody that got something good out of this, I am so happy to be able to help and be of service to you. Other than that, I am really excited for the positive things that I'm going to teach you. But truly, women are amazing. We are only getting more amazing. And if you are taking care of yourself, getting up and doing your morning routine, taking care of your teeth, working out, eating healthy, reading good books that fill you, having faith, and then you deserve nothing but a good partner. You don't want to end up investing so much in yourself and ending up with a person that is not going to be there for you and support you. So much love. I hope that this message finds you well, and I am really happy if I can help you in any way. Thank you. Bye-bye.